Hi everyone, today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best camera for professional photography on the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our 5 best picks, then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best camera for professional photography. You can find timestamps and links to all the products we mention in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Choosing the best camera for professional photography is always fun. But it can also be intimidating, even for veteran photographers. After all, spending thousands of hard-earned dollars can be scary. No matter your experience level, a camera may or may not meet your standards. So what's the best approach to buying a new camera? Research, of course. So we've done that for you. And to help you, we compiled the best cameras for professional photography. So you can find the best option that meets your needs. The Nikon Z9 is our top pick. It has rock-solid performance, incredible AF, and some of the best lens options in the world. While advanced video features are all the rage on cameras these days, photography is still the bread and butter of most consumer cameras. Whether you're looking for the perfect camera to document your travel adventures, a model that can capture beautiful landscapes, or a fast camera to keep up with sports and wildlife, there's no shortage of options out there, including many that are well-rounded enough to suit all manner and styles of pro photography. What's most important is choosing a camera that fits your needs, budget, and ergonomic preferences. Let's have a look at those cameras in more detail, starting with our last pick, the Sony Alpha 7R IV. Number 5. Sony Alpha 7R IV camera for professional photography. Is the Sony A1 too expensive for you? Don't worry, because you have a competitive alternative in the form of the A7R IV. It's not only significantly cheaper, it also has a 61 megapixels resolution, which is currently the highest for any full-frame mirrorless option. Like the A1, the A7R IV also has pixel shift multi-shooting. After combining 16 RAW files using this feature, you end up with one large image that exceeds 200 megapixels. This is incredible image quality from the pixel shift functionality. It makes the A7R IV perfect for those who love creating large prints from their photos. The Sony A7R IV can shoot only 10 FPS instead of the A1's 30 FPS. But in most shooting situations, 10 FPS is more than adequate to capture crucial moments. It also has 567 autofocus points. And it uses phase detection for accurate focusing even when shooting fast subjects. The Sony A7R IV doesn't have 8K. But it has excellent 4K capability that lets it record 24, 25, and 30p. At Full HD 1920x1080, it can capture slow motion up to 120p. If you don't need a specialty camera like the Sony A1, the A7R IV is a solid investment. The image quality from its 60 megapixel sensor makes a lot of difference. That's especially true if you love capturing intricate details in photos. Why we love its super high-resolution sensor, stunningly sharp image quality, excellent face and eye detection, AF large, high-resolution EVF sharp 4K Ultra HD video weather sealing to protect from elements. Number 4. Canon EOS 5D camera for professional photography. In the golden days of DSLR cameras, photographers considered the EOS 5D line one of the best on the market. The original 5D, even now, is a highly sought-after classic camera. That's due to the film-like images it produces. But the 5D Mark II has also become popular for its impeccable video performance. It's a favorite among indie filmmakers. The Canon EOS 5D Mark IV is the latest iteration of the 5D lineup. It improves the legacy of its predecessors with updated features. Canon released it in 2016. But it remains one of Canon's most popular professional cameras. So what makes the 5D Mark IV any good? First, if you have older Canon lenses, all are compatible with the 5D Mark IV. Of course, we can't forget its optical viewfinder. It allows for flicker-free and lag-free shooting. The Canon EOS 5D Mark IV's resolution can still go head-to-head with most of the cameras featured on this list. It has a 30 megapixel sensor with an ISO sensitivity between 100 and 32,000. And the ISO is expandable to between 50 and 104,200. For video, This camera can shoot 4K up to 30p with a 1.74x crop. You can bump the frame rate to 60p if you're shooting full HD video. And at 720, you can go super slow motion at 120p. Canon has recently announced it will wind down its development of DSLR cameras. So perhaps this will be your last chance to get your hands on one of the last 5Ds on the market. But forget about bittersweet nostalgia with DSLRs. Look at the specs. This camera can fulfill any professional photographer's need. Why we love it: quality sensor produces detailed and vibrant images even at high ISOs, dual pixel AF with eye detection, user-friendly touch to focus screen, 900 shot battery life, cinema quality, DCI, 4K video. Number 3. Nikon D780 camera for professional photography. The Nikon D780 is a bit of an anomaly. Nikon's competitors were releasing new mirrorless cameras in 2020, and the Japanese camera company decided to launch this full-frame DSLR camera body. It may seem illogical for Nikon to have done that, but read on to find out why you might find this excellent camera indispensable. The Nikon D780 is the updated version of the much-loved Nikon D750 that was released in 2014. On the surface, it seems like a regular entry-level full-frame camera. It has a standard 24-megapixel sensor, but the Nikon D780 is, in fact, a hybrid camera that has improved autofocus for video. If you own a DSLR, especially a Nikon one, you know how unusable the autofocus is when shooting video. It hunts for the subject a lot, and the transition from one focus point to the next is jerky. The Nikon D780 allows you to focus accurately and smoothly as if using a mirrorless camera. And the best part about it is that you can work with your existing DSLR lenses to use it. The D780 has upgraded video capabilities. But besides that, it has many photography features for the modern pro photographer. For instance, it has built-in creative filters. This includes a tilt-shift effect. Plus, it lets you combine many exposures in camera. It also lets you create focus stacking shots. That lets you create sharp photos from the background to the foreground. So what is the Nikon D780 for, then? It's designed for professional photographers and serious enthusiasts. It's for those who love the experience of a DSLR but long for the autofocus capabilities of mirrorless options. It may seem simple at first glance, but it's proof that DSLR cameras still have plenty to offer. Number 2. Canon EOS R3 camera for professional photography. Canon cameras have long been a favorite among photojournalists, wildlife, and sports photographers. That's due to their performance even in high-stress environments. The brand's mirrorless camera release, the EOS R3, continues that tradition. But it has new features that make shooting photos faster and more intuitive. The Canon EOS R3 has an impressive 1053 autofocus points. It can accurately detect all subjects, from humans to animals. It also has an eye control AF. It automatically selects the focus points by following your eye movements. Surprisingly enough, the eye control AF technology has been around since 1998. And it was available in some high-end film cameras. But this is the first time Canon has integrated it into a digital camera. We wonder why it took that long. But we're excited about its potential. It makes changing focus hands-free and more intuitive. The Canon EOS R3 has 5-axis in-body image stabilization, IBIS. It steadies your camera while taking photos at low shutter speeds. This feature is perfect for those who always work in terrible lighting conditions. They can be photojournalists or even event photographers. When it comes to continuous shooting, using a mechanical shutter, the Canon EOS R3 can take 12 FPS. And it takes up to 30 FPS electronically. But it can fire up to 195 frames in custom mode, beating Nikon's Z9's impressive 120 FPS. Of course, we can't forget this camera's video features. It's the perfect hybrid camera, capable of shooting 60 FPS in 6K and 120 FPS in 4K. And unlike most mirrorless options, the R3 has a suppressed rolling shutter distortion. It significantly reduces the jello effect when capturing fast movements. Number 1. Nikon Z9 camera for professional photography. Nikon has struggled for years to compete in the mirrorless world with Sony and Canon. Those two companies had a head start with mirrorless cameras. That's why the Nikon Z9 is surprising to many. Nikon's newest flagship professional camera blows the competition out of the water. The Z9 has groundbreaking features and image quality. So what makes the Z9 the best professional camera? Let's start with the frame rate. Not long ago, many thought 24 FPS was impressive. But the Z9 can shoot a whopping 120 FPS in still photos. With autofocus, Nikon developed a deep learning algorithm. It tracks various subjects, from people and animals to vehicles. It even combines 3D tracking and subject detection, automatically following fast-moving objects. Of course, the Nikon Z9 is also a competent professional camera for video. It has a max video resolution of 8K. And what's even more impressive, it can shoot 12-bit RAW footage in camera without overheating. Its footage is so crisp that you can grab 33 megapixels still frames from it. The downside of the Z9 is that it's a little bit on the bulky side. The body alone is 2.9 pounds. That's a lot of weight considering it's a full-frame mirrorless camera. But then again, its robust build makes it a formidable professional camera. It can brave the elements well with its weather sealing. Best 6K I have ever spent. I had been using just my Z7 II as my primary camera and decided I also wanted to add this to the lineup for my business use, and yay, I am considering buying another. Why we love it: ultra-fast image processor, high 120 FPS compressed frame rate, no visible rolling shutter, 8K 60p Ultra HD video, unlimited low-resolution recording, excellent battery life.